Hello, Bl'Art here, with Wings Graven with Emotion, the Llyud Lost Chapter Shinryu fight. We're bringing a team of Llyud, Charlotta, and Kais. Before we get too deep into it, be sure to hit that like button, it helps the video out, hit the subscribe button, helps me out, leave a comment down below, helps you out, by, participating with the process. Okay, I guess it doesn't actually help you out that much. If you have like a question or something, by all means ask away and I'll see what I can do to help. But I kind of got carried away with the spiel there. Anyway, what are we doing here? Why are we doing it? Well, people are saying, oh, well, Llyud's FR is good for force charging, it's really good for charging the gauge and whatnot. And so I says to myself, okay, why not? Let's try to charge the gauge with Charlotta, and we'll use Kais as our kind of enabling piece here. Why Kais and not Selfie? Because I make poor life choices, I suppose is the reason. Selfie would have just been a straight better choice, but I did want to showcase Kais here in that I've talked about this elsewhere. He's one of those characters that pairs well with Llyud because of the EX charge capability. Kais gets that delay on his EX, and it's also one of his harder hitting skills. So, you could do worse than pairing him up with Llyud to get a bunch more delays. That's going to be kind of our goal here. The goal is to not let the bosses get any turns, or minimal turns as best we can, in order to keep the Charlotta LD buff on us, since neither Kais nor Charlotta actually normally triggers Llyud's FR, since they both lack stacking buffs or overheads. I was a little disappointed that Charlotta's little counter thing doesn't count as stacks, but they're not wrong. I'm just sad by it, There we go, into the sky with you. But yeah, Selfie generally is just a better pick. Check this out, look at this. Wadoom, haha, look at this. Million damage, yay, go Kais. Can't wait for that to actually be a good kit to use. So, what are we doing now? We've got the setup here. We're going to save Llyud's EX for recharging Kais's EX, as I mentioned. We're trying our best to get as many delays as possible out of it. Basically, we're using a combination of Kais's EX and Charlotta's, break status stalling through all of her free skills. Which is why right now you'll see I'm refreshing her skills. We're letting them get close to, each turn we take is taking up a turn of them getting out of break status, which is more time that we can spend not having to deal with it. Taking turns. Going into the burst now with Charlotta. Charlotta's so good. I'm really glad that I ended up investing in her kit. She's just so versatile, so powerful, so usable in so many kind of situations. I know I shouldn't have said usable. Usable it triggers some people. Apologies if you're one of them. I didn't mean to cause you any sort of undue distress by using the forbidden language. Jesus. It does mean nothing though, doesn't it? So there we go, doing some more stalling, jumping Kais behind Charlotta, who is totally eaten through the buff. Kind of a waste of a turn in some ways, but it's okay. Charlotta's now going to do a couple of FR charges here. And then I'm going to realize, oops, I was going to jump into a burst phase, but I meant to leave one turn extra to hit Brother Summon, and I didn't do that, so I guess I'm just doing a whole bunch of Charlotta charges now, and then chucking staff. Her skill 1 charges the gauge more than her EX, which is why I was spamming that instead of using the EX, in case you were wondering about that. This is kind of annoying. Ended up breaking them out of order, so we're going to have to basically take a bunch of delaying and suboptimal turn situations here. Luckily, thanks to Rydia's FR, we're not really worried about them. Or not Rydia's FR, her LD. You'll notice that the threshold attack that they do didn't actually count down the attack, or the stacks on the Rydia call, which was interesting. I think the reason for that is because it just applies a debuff, and so if the attack misses, the debuff doesn't apply, and if the debuff doesn't apply, there's nothing in the attack. That's my logic for how that played out. You'll see there. God, this is so not how I meant to do things. It's really suboptimal, honestly. I mean, we still got the big brothers hit, which is what we were aiming for, but I was hoping to get a big Charlotta burst phase with Kais launchers. That was the dream of this fight. Of this team, I should say. Unfortunately, it's kind of a jank team. And by jank team, I mean Kais is on it. Don't get me wrong, big fan of Kais, but he is, while Selfie exists, he just feels superfluous. I tried using him in the Brother Spiritus, actually, thinking, well, his crit, he has crit game for the buff for the party, and he just held us back too much, and just couldn't do the job. So that's a shame, but there it is. So now we have one more thing we're trying to do here, which is, well, we failed to kill them within the force time. So we're just going to have to charge up and get the force time back, so the enemy force time doesn't go off. We also definitely want to try to push B below that threshold before any sort of... basically, we don't want them double targeting Kais like twice or something and getting rid of the stacked buff. So we're trying to push B below that threshold before they have a chance to get rid of the Rydia buff on Kais. Ah, man. Going back in the force time, because if we don't, their force time is going to go off and it's going to be obnoxious because they don't die during it. I mean, yes, I know, I could have just canceled it with Llyud's, but like I said, I didn't want the force attack to get rid of the Kais, or the stacked buff on Charlotta and Kais, so no force attack for them. God, what a scuffed run. Ugh, just watching it back, it's like, oh man, this was ugly. It's my first time really trying to do the gauge charge thing. I don't think I did a great job with it, but I mean, this is kind of a gimme fight, so it wasn't that important that it was a good job. I guess I could just, like, not upload this to YouTube, but I don't know. I figure sometimes, maybe it's good to show some suboptimal crap just working. Hopefully it'll make you think about stuff, like, for instance, the Rydia call with Llyud, who I used to call Kled, now I'm apparently calling Llyud. I don't know, I feel like I like saying Kled more, even though it doesn't... I don't know. I don't want to spend the whole video talking about name pronunciation again, because I feel like that happens whenever we use this dang character. Using these charges now, because the guy's basically dead, and I don't care about the burst damage number at the end, so we're just trying to save time by not wasting launch attacks and just charging our way through the rest of the EX. 52 mil. Anyway, there you have it. The Kled Lost Chapter. Yeah, it just feels better. Kled Lost Chapter. Shinryu fight. God, I wish I hadn't forced enhanced 30 to him yet. When he gets his FR, it'll be better. Jesus. Adios.